50. Mid-80. Check. Walk 54. Walk 54. Here we go.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
On first down, Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Nick Bosa showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
56. Alert. Let's go. 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. Hey, deep,
Here's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. There he goes inside the 30. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for to get points out of this drive.
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Being chased out left. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving.
Tighten up. Pull it together. Check 43.
65.
He's crashing. He's checking crash.
22-jet bomber.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Garoppolo on the draw to Coleman. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field, and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass him with a running play.
And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
21.
Safety creek.
They'll run with Coleman on first down. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Man open, it's Goodwin. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 28.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
21. Here we go.
Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Dante Fowler racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
So I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Omaha.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. eluding the pressure right. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So another third down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They'll try and run with McKinnon. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. It's Coleman here. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Tevin Coleman, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 7-7, our score after 1. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it 2nd down and 11.
Friday. Come on, let's go.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Tevin Coleman, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
At the 33-yard line.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
It's just me. It's just me and you.
To throw is Wilson. Flushed out right. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Nick Bosa wanted to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they fell behind early, but since then, 2 touchdowns and a 14-7 lead.
Yeah, they found the end zone on their first 2 drives, and even more so after the defense gave up the first lead. With these last 2 drives, obviously they inspired their D because they shut them down the last time out. They hope to continue that string.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
21.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Dante Fowler, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Right there, 54, right there, 54.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Dante Fowler in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
As I was watching the play unfold, my eyes immediately went to the referee because I wanted to see, was he going to put those 2 hands over his head and that universal signal for a safety? But it's at the 1-yard line. You know you're playing with fire when you get sacked that close to the goal line.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. A terrific return there, 27 yards all told. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They run it with Carson. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Let's go one more.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Wilson into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23, and his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers. Right back to Coleman here on 1st down. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two. On 2nd and 12, Garoppolo, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands. Guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
21.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. With a sack, it's Ziggy Ansah. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the 2nd quarter. 14-7. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit towards the field goal.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Meanwhile, checking in on what's going on in Baltimore. Making a full 2-touchdown lead now for the Titans. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. To throw is Garoppolo. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Goodwin. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear them now. 3rd and goal. They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this 1st half. And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. From the gun, it's Wilson. Flush to his right. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
Third down and 6 yards to go.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jason Verrett. There he goes right side. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Gold with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Hey, D-line, let's get it.
12.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Escaping the pressure right. This is Coleman with the ground. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
White.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. Open man is heard. It's complete.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, switch gears.
21.
Garoppolo. Now Garoppolo lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Right there, 54 Mike. Check.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Mike 54. We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here.
From the 24, Wilson buying time, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
Watch safety creep. Safety's creeping.
No pass.
Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4.
14.
Come get some. Come on here.
From the shotgun, Wilson. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Mike Evans. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Seahawks. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that cuts this lead down to 13. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Coleman. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball. Give me that ball, defense.
White.
Mike 55.
X3. 218.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Right,
Here we go. 180.
Watch the run.
12.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Instead of a 3rd and 4, now they have to manage a 3rd and 9 after the delay of game. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Returnable for Lockett. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do. I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. It's a big play there for Seattle. 45 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. This is Carson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
54. Gotta go, in and out. Let's go. 54.
Now on 2nd and 13. Wilson eluding the pressure right. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a couple.
And it's a fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They start out on the ground with Coleman. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here we go.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st down now, a run with McKinnon. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
They run once more with McKinnon. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Give them 14 on that one and a 1st down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. They try to run on 1st down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Drop deep, drop deep.
Lock, lock, lock. 55, 5.
On 2nd and 12, Garoppolo dancing to his left. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Now Garoppolo lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
Here we go.
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Right there in the middle, 55. Watch the action. Go. Check, 55.
Looking to throw. Garoppolo. Forced out to his left. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
I like his thought process and his ability to move and get downfield. But what I didn't like was the final decision, to go out of bounds. They want to keep the clock moving. Instead, they give the defense an extra timeout.
11. Hey, Delta. Check right. Watch it, 5.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Lock.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. He's going to loft one deep, and he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Marquise Goodwin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. Gold to add the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he's able to get it up close to the 35, but hang on here. Penalty marker down. And this one might be going the other way. So that will push him back.
And now we know why he had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back. That penalty will move them back.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 23. Sliding out of the pocket. Now he'll let it go deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, but it'll be 2nd down. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Tick.
To throw again. Wilson. Flushed out right. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
Let's get off the field. Go, 14. Hey, easy.
On first down, Wilson. He finds his target. It's Evans. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Last play went for over 30 yards. This one not quite as big, but still over 20. Wilson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. Operating from the gun. This is caught. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Throwing again here, Wilson. Roll it, and he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit. Now, he's doing his part, but still facing a sizable deficit.
And he would like to do more, but he needs help from the other 2/3, right? He needs his defense to bow up a little bit, and he also needs special teams to maybe create some big plays and help them get back in it.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5.
Hey, high 7.
Let's go.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Steps away to his left. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. 15 for the Niners there and a first down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently,
Here we go.
you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and take and look like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
On 2nd and 9, Garoppolo, blitz coming, and down he goes. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. That last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. Man open, it's Goodwin. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance, if they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing. It puts them in that position.
Flush to his right. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
56. Here we go.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Wilson from the gun, he'll throw. Now a desperation throw. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right in midfield at the 50. It's a big play there for Seattle. 41 yards.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Don't say nothing.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. He's going to let it fly. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. It's a big play there for Seattle. 42 yards. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Wilson will throw again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Hey guys, listen.
4th down. Here's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. He may try. And he takes this one into the end zone. And all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And it's the 49ers who recover it, and that ought to just about do it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. So the victory here for San Francisco. And I know I'm not breaking any news when I say that any road win in this league is a good one.
No doubt.
But it's a double bonus when you get a victory on the road in your division.
And when you start a season, each team breaks down their schedule in different ways. Some do it every 4 games, right? Let's go quarterly. Others say, listen, we've got to take care of our home field. And, you know, out of a 16-game season, if you get 8 at home, let's at least win 7 at home and split our road games. That's what you're trying to get done. So you're exactly right. A road win, precious, especially within the division.
So for the Niners, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they taste defeat for the first time this season as they drop to 5-1. And now they'll head to the bye week as they'll be back in action in Week 8. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gautin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.